I hope you started your day with an attitude of gratitude because if you keep your focus there, you'll have so much more to be grateful about. If you can't find one, just take a deep breath. Oh yeah, I know you're grateful now. You got another chance at it. That's right. Before you listen to this content, I would like for you to hit the link in the caption above and listen to this song by Glenn Jones, At Last. The words is to the exact. And ladies, change the word from ladies to my baby. All right, so go listen and then come back and this contact that I'm bringing, my perspective. I'm gonna tell you, it's gonna bring it all in there together. All right. We always talk about we want a real man. I want a real man. I want a real woman. And these days, you kind of like questioning what a real man and a real woman is, huh? We are really questioning that now. So the question is do we really want a mature adult man? Is that what we want? Or a mature adult woman? I think that's what we're really asking for. What do you think? I think we asking for that more than anything. One thing about mature adult men and women, they don't mess around with childlike mentalities. They don't mess around with it. They don't even have time for that. And when you become mature, you become evolved in life. You just don't have time for silly things, childlike things. I feel like you should enjoy your singleness. Like, get all that out of you. Become whole. You know, that you did in your teenage years, your young adult years, you should have been and got all that out of you. All that you always wanted to do, you should have got out of you. Got all the girls, got all the guys, all that kind of stuff. You did silly things. You was mischievous, you was acting, like unexperienced, all that. When you become a mature adult man or woman, you are mature. That means you no longer think like a child. You never act like a child. None of that. I mean, you still have the kid in you. I mean, you might get a little silly here and there. You might want a little attention here and there. But for the most part, you're an adult. Because even with that, is a time and a place for everything. For the things that you say, the things that you do, and the way that you think, how you approach things. Your character, your integrity is on the line. It's just like when a young guy you know, try to flirt with me, whatever. I'm like, boy, if you don't get out of my face, I ain't no boy. I said, with them pants sagging, you a boy. That's what boys do. I ain't no boy. I said, pull your pants up. But I said, when you get older and mature, those pants gonna come up. Eventually, they are. But then I thought about it again. I saw an older guy. He was sitting in the car, looking all handsome, everything, talking that talk. But when he got out that car and his pants was sagging, I said, boy, if you don't stop it, I ain't no boy. I'm a old grown man. I said, not with them pants sagging. That's what your son do, right? You keeping up with your son? With your pants sagging? I'm like, no, that's childlike mentality. And then he got nerve to be all emotional. I fuck like a grown man. I was like, oh boy, here we go. Childlike mentality again. I say, first of all, spell intercourse. Now you want to get choked up. I'm like, oh, cool out. I'm just playing. I'm just messing with you, whatever. But no, I don't deal with men. I don't deal with grown men with pants sagging. I'm sorry, those are just not my type. I like a man, a mature man. He has his pants pulled all the way up. I'm not talking about like Pee Wee Hermie or anything like that, but I am talking about, it just, you just got away from your childish ways. I say that's pretty much kind of foolish still to be an old man with your pants sagging. So we talk about things like that. We got grown women trying to keep up with the young girls out here wearing the clothes that they wearing and stuff like that. Certain places I won't shop at. I might get a little piece here, piece there, whatever. But I don't want to be dressed like I'm an old fashioned lady. But at the same time, I want to differentiate adult, mature woman from a young woman or a young teenager. I wanna differentiate. I want when a man see me, he know he's seeing a woman. So it's the way that you dress. It's the way that you talking. You got women out here talking reckless. You got men out here talking reckless. Like, that's childhood stuff. That's stuff you did when you were young. You was a teenager. You didn't know no better. But when you get older, your conversation change. Your disposition change. Everything about you change. So when we say we want a real man, a real woman, first of all, we have to be the real man or real woman. We had to start acting like an adult, a mature adult. Not just an adult in the body, but an adult in the mindset as well. So again, are we really ready for that? I think we got to become adults first. And once you become an adult first, then you can identify adult when you see them. I mean, that's just my perspective. You'll see it when it's coming. See, a mature adult men and women, they don't mess with children. They don't play with them at all, period. They don't even have time for that. Like that's like a downgrade to be dealing with a childlike mentality. Yeah, you in a grown body, but your mind is stuck back in your teenage years life, in your young adult year lifestyle. I mean, that you stuck there. Why you haven't moved from there? What's keeping you there? What's hindering you from moving forward? What about that particular lifestyle that's keeping you there? And some of them do it because, that's the time I had all the honeys. That's all the time when I was getting all the guys. That's all it is. It'd be stuck right there, and you still want that lifestyle. You can still have all the guys and the women and still being a mature adult, because they would be very fascinated with a older person keeping themselves healthy, keeping themselves fit, still looking young. I love a mature guy who looks good. He can be younger or older, but the bottom line, he just got to be a mature adult. How you gonna be asking for a real man or a woman, adult, mature man or woman, but yet you're acting childish? Ain't nothing wrong with having a little kid in you, a little silliness in you, just a little bit. And even with that, it is perform accordingly. Just a little silly. You might want a little attention here and there. You might want your way, here and there sometimes, But again, you don't get emotional about when you don't get your way. You don't get very emotional and acting all like you throwing a tantrum because you're not getting your way or whatever the case may be, or you're not getting this attention. That's still the childlike mentality. We have to be careful when we're asking for a real man and woman. We still have childlike things that we're doing, saying, thinking. Our actions are still childish. When you was a young girl and you was a teenager, you got adult women still talking about flattening somebody's tires, busting out somebody's windows, showing up at men's house unannounced, picking up their phones and trying to see who's calling them. And that's still childlike mentality. That's stuff you did when you was a teenager. Same thing for the men. Men do the same thing. And I just think that after a certain time in your life, you don't have time for that. You can identify whether or not you're dealing with a childlike mentality person from the start. You got to identify that. You don't want no relationship. How can you have a long-term relationship with someone who's still acting like a child? It's one thing you want to evolve. You want to become in your higher consciousness. It's different if you want to grow and learn. It's different, and you willing. When you willing, you catch on quick. You're already approaching a adult man or woman maturely by saying, "Hey, I'm ready to get it cracking. I'm ready to get it moving. I'm ready to learn some stuff. I'm ready to upgrade." There are some things you missed young. There's certain things you didn't know, and it's okay that you don't know that in your adult life, but you're willing to learn. And then when you get with an adult man or woman, you're looking for that because you want to grow. You're not trying to downgrade. You want to get with somebody better than you, think better than you, or wiser, whatever the case may be. Or even on the same level, and we both trying to evolve together. But we're definitely not trying to stay in our childhood lives. We're not definitely trying to stay in our teenage hair life or our young adult life. We've surpassed that. Life is about changes. You change from a fetus to an elderly person. And you want to leave wisdom behind. You want your children to be able to say, "Man, my grandma taught me that. She told me that futuristically. She told me this was going to happen. See, the game still stayed the same, but the players just changed. That's just it. And so your grandchildren will be like, my grandma, my grandpa, they told me this was going to happen. They told me this is how it's going to be, and how I should, once they come their way, how I should attack that. Even though you're going to still do it in your own way, your style, but at least you have some sort of format left behind. Foolish old people leave nothing but dysfunction, and it's being recycled, causing chaos from generation to generation, until someone say, no, it's time for me to wise up and stop this shenanigans, stop these generational curses with this type of dysfunctional thinking. How can you ask to be with a real man or woman and you're not one yourself? You're not acting like one yourself. First, become a mature adult first before you approach one. First, get to learn what adult man or woman is. In order to see a man, they got to be a man. In order to see a woman, you got to be a woman. See, that's what it's about. See, these young men and women can't see that because old fools is not portraying that. So they have nothing to model behind. We have to be very careful when we asking for stuff that we are really not ready for. See, adult, mature women and men, they don't have time for that. They not finna mess with that. They leave that right alone. And when they see it, they be like, baby, you ain't ready. You're not ready. You say you're ready, but you're not ready. And they stop stuff and they choke. They laugh, giggle. It's cute. You being flirtatious. You cute. You throwing your best shot. That's cute. But at the end of the day, they know where that's going. Nowhere. Because most adult men and women just don't have time to be raising a grown person. Like, you should already be there. Like, you so behind. And when you're when you say like when you're a adult mature person and you still haven't learned some things, you're willing. You're still even tactful and creative in wanting to learn. Man, I didn't know about like that. I didn't think about that. You can listen to different perspective. You're a listener. You're not just running off with the mouth. You're not trying to prove you smart or nothing like that. You know how to settle down and say, let me learn something. This person's trying to teach me something. And and the more you do that, the more they be willing to give to you, pour into you. See, when you're trying to prove something, that's childlike mentality right there. You don't have to prove nothing to nobody. If you don't know, you don't know. And be willing to learn. Why fight against that? When you're in a relationship with somebody who's still trying to stay childlike, they're keeping you down. At that point, you got to make a decision. Listen, you got to upgrade. It's time for you to evolve. It's time for us to move forward because you keeping me down with you, and I can't do that. That's a lot of times. This is how people outgrow relationships. I've outgrown that. I'm outgrown that. I'm doing bigger and better things, and you better be ready to upgrade with me. I can't be with you and you keeping me here. You got to be willing to grow. And there's nothing wrong with making a decision. Say, I got to let you go. You holding me down. You holding me back. And this is why it's so important for us to see that ahead. You got to see whether or not this person going to be willing to want to grow, even if they're not there. And y'all both can grow together as well. When you don't see that, because see, eventually they got to take off the mask. Eventually they got to take off the representative, the falseness, the fakeness. Because a lot of people do it just to get you. And when they get you, they thought they can be back to them real selves. But only to know is say, babe, you can't do that. Nuh-uh. You portrayed that you was this. You better be that. Because if you not, we ain't going to be together. Because I'm growing. You're not going to hold me down with you. But again, asking the right questions, giving it time, see whether or not they're ready. And then you make a decision before you make a final decision. Because see, at this time, in these times, people are leaving people. People just don't want to stay behind with individuals who don't want to grow and evolve. So do we really want a real man? Do we really want a real woman? Do we really want an adult, mature man or woman? Do we really want that? You only know that until you are around mature adult people. That's why it's good to be around the wiser people, wiser elders who give you that wisdom. So by the time you out here and you meet individuals, you'll know You can separate from that by how they act, how they talk. Some people still talk reckless. All kinds of things. You just see it. You just don't have time for that. The way you dress, the way you communicate, the people you hang around with, all of that. You just got to know how to have character, integrity about yourself, principles and morals, that make you look wonderful. You like that, like a woman, she's that light that a man can see inside all of the women, but he saw you. Why? Because you was different. It is amazing when a man approach you, be like, you different from the rest of them. Like, why are you even around them? Like, you don't even act like them. You different from them. It's amazing when men say that to you. Same thing women say that the same to men too. You see that different man is a little different. He looks, laid back. He chills to the side. He just kicking at just his homies having a good time. But he moved different. He dressed different. He talked different. He hold the door for you. He offer his seat. Just all types of just maturity. They see it. You don't have to ask him for a drink when you out or hold the door for you. None of that. It's just something he do. He's just a mature man. We just forgot our roles as what a man and a woman really is. And we need that balance. Factual. You can't be without it. So how can we bring balance in a relationship? Even a mindset. How can we bring a balance in a mindset? I'm an adult, mature adult, and you got a child-like mentality. Like, how we gonna grow from that? Again, are we really ready for that? Huh? Are we really ready? We say we're ready, but we're not ready. And you got to be that you got to be that across the board, mentally, physically, emotionally, financially, sexually, intimately, spiritually. When you get to a certain time in your life, you don't even have time for that. You just really don't. Like, when you get to a certain time in your life, I'm trying to enjoy life, live life, be happy. Anybody got time to be frowning, irritated all the time? Be like, man, you don't get it. Why you don't want to get it? Like you forcing somebody to be an adult. Who want to live like that? You got to deal with all those things from your teenage years and your adult years and your child. Like, you got to deal with all that. And you got to become whole. You got to get rid of all that mess. So when you do come into a relationship, that you finally found that real man or woman, like Glenn Jones said, at last I found her. At last, ladies, y'all can say, oh, he found I found him. I can receive him. He said his search was over. Don't ever think a man can settle down with one woman. It's just that one he want to settle down with. And it's amazing when you out here, you kind of like, I look at it like this. Say like you out on the dating scene and you're dating and you be like, man, these 5 men or women, got these, all of the points that I like. I wish I could just ball them up in one, and that's kind of how you formatting what you like. And then you put it out in the universe. Say, man, formulate this man for me. Formulate this woman for me. He say, I prayed and I prayed. I prayed and prayed. I mean, you affirm for that. And you don't settle until you get that. You just sit back and chill. And that's it. Don't settle for nothing less than that. I go about it differently. I was like, man, pick the one for me. Carefully craft the one out for me. Specifically for me. His piece and my piece together. Ooh, magical. Magical. And it's worth waiting for. Anybody can get a man or a woman. You can get that. It shouldn't be just for sex or just for this or this my friend for that or that's my boyfriend for that and all this, that, and the other. No. You can actually have that one that is fitting for you. For real. Y'all not insecure. Y'all ain't got to worry about nothing. Y'all good. So are we really ready for a real man and woman? Adult, mature man and woman. Are we really ready for that? I think that we should get ourselves ready for it. Get everything out of us. That's why I feel like you should do everything in your single years. Do it all. Do whatever it is that you need to do, because once you get in a relationship, you should be done with that. Like, baby, I'm done all that. I done had all the hotties. I done had all this, that, and the other. I done did this, did that, baby. I'm good. I know what I want now. Same thing for a woman. Same thing for I've been and done that all that, baby. I ain't with that no more. I'm on something different. I'm on, man, I'm trying to settle out with me and my guy. We do everything together. That's my homie, that's my best friend. We kicking it, we having a great time. We see, we doing it together. So again, quit approaching an adult man and woman when you not that yourself. Get yourself, evolve yourself into that. Your mindset, basically, not just your body. Yeah, you mature in your body. You're a man in your body. You're a woman in your body. But your mindset is childish. Everything ain't funny. You don't have to be so emotional. You don't have to be so serious. You know how to juggle it all. You know how to balance all of that. Because that's what mature people do. When you childlike, you don't know how to balance that. You irrational. You have anxieties. You're anxious. You can't settle down. You just all over the place. This is just a time and place, everything. You know how to conduct yourself in public, conduct yourself in settings. You win. You know what, when, how to say and do things. That's what mature people do. They microanalyze everything, and they want to be able to say, hey, I got to be very, very careful. Use a little, strategy here. So I got to make sure that it's all, doing in the right perspective. So you can be respected. You want to be respected by the young people. But like, man, I can go to them because, man, they give it to us in the real and the raw. I ain't talking about ignorantly. They be like, oh, baby, you don't want to do that. That ain't the move you want to make. You better be cool out, chill. That's what's going to happen. This what's going to happen. Then that stuff come to pass. Guess what's going to happen? That child, that young person, that young adult going to always come back to you for a little bit of wisdom, a little bit of advice, because they know they're going to give you to the raw real, and they ain't going to play with you. They ain't going to tell you the truth because they want you to learn. I wish that we all could have just take heed to that advice we was given. Only thing the adults, how elderly say right now is keep living, and that's a fact. But then you have some children that actually listen, and so that's why we don't want to be old fool. We don't want to pass down foolishness. We don't pass down dysfunction because we ain't ready to grow up, and we think that's being young. That ain't being young. You're being foolish. I can still hang with my nieces. I can still hang with my daughter. I can still hang with the young people. I can still hang. Maybe fitness. But in the other ways, no. I can twerk like you might get her down a little bit of here and there, whatever. Just say, hey, girl, please, let me get over here. I just had to show her a little something, but she ain't trying to be out there in the club kicking and hanging like she one of them. See, these are the things that I'm talking about. So again, let's get ourselves ready to receive a real man and a woman. Put ourselves in an adult, mature, being not just an adult. We want to be mature. We want to be evolve. We want to get out of our bottom chakra. That's what the shit is. Yeah, that's what the shit is. You want to start evolving, moving yourself up to a higher consciousness where you illuminate that third eye and you be conscious about everything you say and do. That's why we got to put them principles and morals and respect and integrity and character in our children young so they have something to come back to. We got a lot of adults who haven't had that. But you have to be that adult who's willing to become evolved and want to be greater than you were. You want to be able to say, ooh, when I was young, boy, I did some silly stuff. I did some silly things. And that's what keeps us transparent with our young people today. You got to be able to say, I've been and done that, son. I know. You're going to do it. You're going to go through it. But this is what I'm just trying to tell you so you'll know. I'm just trying to warn you. This is what it is. Because I've been there and done it. I experienced that. But you got a time limit on that. We got to start telling our children, okay, you 18. Okay, you 21. All right, you 30. It's time to buckle down. Time to get it together. You 30 now, time to get it together. So that's what we have to, this type of stuff we have to leave behind for our young people. All right. Again, I want a real man. I want a real woman. But first, We got to be real ourselves. Real. Get ourselves real. To be an adult man, mature, an adult woman, maturely. We want to evolve. And then life will be so much happier, in my opinion. Be like Glenn Jones. At last, I got a man I can be a whole woman to. And he said, I got a woman I can be a whole man to. Huh? Life is about sharing. And you want to share it with someone that is compatible.